Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our Europa Conference League semi-finals against Austria Vienna. Unfortunately, we have fallen away now in the Bundesliga. We drew 1-1 with Stuttgart. Dortmund actually drew that match day weekend as well, but we just looked like we're just running out of steam. We've lost 2-0 against Freiburg as well last time out, and again, it was a poor performance. We didn't look like doing much in the game. So we have 100% focus on our European campaign now. We've actually fallen down to third in the Bundesliga. It's the lowest place we can finish anyway. But Bayern Munich have had a very good second half of the season, and they are the only team now really that can catch Dortmund. They've only lost the one game this season, Dortmund. For them to lose all three of their last games, it's going to be a big ask. Chavlin has stopped scoring as well, which is probably part and parcel of what's been going on. To be fair, he hasn't actually scored since the first leg against Nijmegen when we brought him off the bench. Um, Opacic has done extremely well though. He scored in in three of his last four games. Obviously, the Freiburg game is the anomaly there, but other than that, we've not done too badly, and we are working hard. But we've got a very young side, and I think we've just run out of steam, to be quite honest. So we go into this game against Austria Vienna, and hopefully we can get a result in this first leg. Um, like I say, today we are going to show the second leg as well, so it's a complete semi-final today. And given the fact that realistically we're not going to catch Dortmund now, we might even rotate for the league games now, just to give our backup players a chance. Yes, we'll potentially lose a few matches, but it does mean we can keep the squad a little bit fresher for the European games. Kone, Katala, and Alma are all struggling for fitness. I think we are going to rotate a little bit, maybe, um, for this tie in particular, but we need to get the job done first and foremost here in this first leg. And then it could be if we can keep a little bit of consistency in the league and rotate for the second leg of the semi final, then hopefully we can do the job. I'm not really too sure what to expect, to be honest. I mean, Austria Vienna, they've made it this far. They've got to be taken seriously. But the other semi final, Everton against Lazio, I fancy us here today against Austria Vienna. Getting into that final will be tough anyway. But to play Everton or Lazio in the final will be an extremely tough ask as well. Like I say, it's been a very long season for us. We've done far more than we expected to do in relation to our league position. And we've pretty much been a title challenger this season, pretty much until the end of the campaign as well, which with this young side, I think we've done extremely well, like I say, and we've got to remember our limitations. I mean, despite qualifying for the Champions League, we've got a 20 odd million-pound budget for next season. It's not a lot, and I've already identified a couple of key areas. We've already agreed a couple of deals for next year as well. So we're pretty much spent up already, if I'm being truthful, and we need to strengthen in a couple of other positions, I think, as well. So we may have to sell one or two players. That is going to be the other thing. As Eamon Carrier hits the woodwork there, Casper Nielsen couldn't react to it either, which was a little bit unlucky. Um, but we should have had an advantage there. Ismail Asensio again having a bit of a goal drought. I really like him, but he's just not got that consistency, and he's a player that I am debating having to sell at the moment, and I don't want to. Julius Alma we're going to have to keep because he's one of the few German players we actually have at the moment. But I'm just praying that we can find a way around everything going forward. And that's a lovely set piece, really. Heinrich tried to hit it first time and it got blocked, and we managed to clear it the second attempt. But Pechak gets the ball back in, and it's a good claim from Hein, our goalkeeper. And it remains 0-0 in what has been a very even game so far. And again, like I say, very long season. We've had a lot of football matches this season, and I think we're just slightly running out of steam, which is a bit of a shame. But it is what it is. It's a free kick in a dangerous position here for Austria Vienna, and Braunerda is going to take it. He's got support there as well. He's decided to strike it, and I don't know if it hit the woodwork first or not there, but Hein did manage to keep it out. And we need to wake up a bit here. But like I say, our forward players have been a little bit lacklustre in front of goal in the last few matches, and it is a bit of a concern. And we're not the better side here either. We need to pick it up going into this second half. Like I say, we've got pretty much our strongest team out. Julius Alma being the anomaly ahead of Opacic, but they've had a lot more attempts at goal. So, we've got to really focus in here. Here's Fran Garcia into Shia. Now Catala back to Shia. Can we get a little bit creative in the second half? It's knocked it down the line. Julius Alma does get there, chance to get it into the penalty area, and he does so. And Chavlina did beat the defender to it, but it did take a deflection, and it remains 0-0. But we do have a set piece here, and Emerson to take. Swings it in toward the near post, and it's easily cleared by Baumgartner, and Catala picks it up, plays it inside to Shia. The move continues here. It's a good delivery from Catala. Kasper Nielsen couldn't get onto it, though, and Austria Vienna will clear. The highlight's still continuing here as well, so there's still potential that something may happen. This is Meisel into Sorg. Now Tafana. Heinrich, good interception by Eamon Carey. Now Manu Kone into Anastasov. It's a very long highlight, this one. I really hope there's a goal at the end of this. Eamon Carey, Emerson down this right-hand side. Kasper Nielsen, chance to get it into the penalty area. Lays it back to Chavlina, and that is a really good finish from the young Croat. It's a really, really positive, strong finish into that bottom corner, and that is exactly what we needed. We're going to have to make some substitutions, though. We are running low on fitness. I'll just pause the highlight for a minute just to get these sorted. Opacic, we will bring on. Actually, saying that, Julius Alma is one of the few players that isn't struggling for fitness. I think actually we'll put Chavlina out wide, and we'll give Ismail Asensio a knock up front again. Ornelas can come on in midfield along with Lewis Miley. We are going to have to leave one of them in there, I think. Emerson is also struggling, so Yao Martins can come on in there. And I think, to be fair, if we move Shia into that midfield, move Ornelas a little bit further forward, and we'll take Eamon Carey off for Yeri Havel, and that'll be our changes done, and hopefully we can push on. But that was a very, very good finish from Chavlina. Lewis Miley here with a corner, swings it into the near post, and it's potentially hit a hand here, and we could have a penalty. This could be so important if it is. Incidentally, since we've changed Opacic to our penalty taker, he's scored a couple of penalties. So obviously not on the pitch today, and it's going to be Ornelas to take this one. Big chance, and that is a big goal into the top corner. He didn't strike it with particular conviction, it didn't look like, but it doesn't matter. We have a 2-goal advantage here away from home against Austria Vienna, and we are heading, hopefully, for the Conference League final. There's still a lot of work to do in the second leg, particularly if it just stays at 2-0. But I don't want us to get, as strange as this sounds, I don't want us to get too far ahead in this first leg, just in case complacency goes into the second leg. Everton are 3-0 up against Lazio. That is an absolute battering in the first leg at Goodison Park. Here's Baumgartner into Tafana. That's a good pass, and Heinrich in between the fullback and centre-back. He finishes it superbly. Very poor from our point of view defensively there. And Vienna back into this tie. It's been a very even game, really. We have had a lot more attempts at goal, but in terms of shots on target, it's been about the same. Ornelas picks it up in midfield. Charges down this left-hand side, saw the space to run, tried to fire it across, and Plavetic did well to clear. Lewis Miley wins the header. Ismail Asensio, that is a big goal for him. That is a huge, huge goal. It's his first goal in 8 matches, and it was a very, very good finish as well. This is the thing with Ismail Asensio. He's got the quality, but he just lacks the consistency, and that is the thing that potentially could let him down with a career here at the moment. And I've got some tough decisions to make, to be honest. I have decided to sell one player already. There's no offers in for him or anything, but it's just a player I've decided that will leave, which is Pablo. He did well in the group stage of this Conference League, but other than that, he's not really featured too much. So I think he's a player we can let go. Fran Garcia with a corner. Oh, and it's a really good save from Marriage. He's possibly kept Austria Vienna in this tie, with that save. I think it was Havel in the end who had the header, but just kept out by the keeper. But that's a very solid first leg in the end. I mean, Vienna made it tough for us, there's no doubt about it, but a 3-1 win, the substitutes coming on and doing the business as well. Asensio with a goal and Ornelas, Miley getting an assist in there as well. Job done, and we push on for the second leg. Like I say, league games are on the back burner now. We're not going to win the title, which is a big shame. We've got a couple of big matches as well with the Rhine Derby and the Borussia Derby, but again, we've qualified for the Champions League. The lowest we can finish is third place. I don't think there's much point in having any more focus on that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, it was on May the 1st, my birthday. What do you know? And a birthday win, just how we like it. So bear with me. We've got the Köln game to get through, and then we'll come back for the second leg against Austria Vienna, and hopefully we will book our place in the Conference League final. Okay, then, guys, here we go for the second leg against Austria Vienna. We had a good win against FC Köln. It only finished a goal to nil, but Kasper Nielsen with the finish. Chavlina, unfortunately, did pick up an injury, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. But providing all goes well today, he should be back for the final. Borussia Dortmund, I don't think have confirmed the title as of yet. Bayern Munich is still within touching distance. Um, Dortmund dropped points in the previous match. They might. I mean, they did actually draw, but they're pretty much assured of it now. I mean, saying that, if we beat them in the coming match, the pressure could be on them. So it'll be interesting to see how things go. We are rotating quite a bit because obviously for the derby game we did have to put out a good side. Kwanzaa's struggling a little bit for fitness. He is injured at the moment. He's fully back um, to full fitness tomorrow type style. Um, So he is going to get an opportunity today, but I'm not. I mean, we are a little bit short. I was tempted to bring one or two of the youth players into the side just to give them that experience, but I think, um, given the nature of things, we can look into that a little bit more next season, maybe, and see where it takes us. With that in mind, Hein in goal, Martins, Chiarodia, Havel, and Kwanzaa at the back. Ornelas, Degenhardt, and Carey in midfield with Opacic, Miley, and Asensio as the front three. Again, morale's, to be fair, has stayed quite good despite the fact that we've just dropped off slightly toward the end of the season in the Bundesliga. We've had an excellent season, like I say. I know I've said all this in the first half of the episode, but we've had such a good season and we've got a very young squad. And I think we've set things up pretty well for the future, in all honesty. And if we can keep uh, that door open and sign just one or two more players, um, with that pedigree, the youngsters that could come in and cover multiple positions, especially, is the kind of focus that we need. And Asensio, straight away, it's taken 16 seconds here. What an effort that was. Um, that's caught me out, hasn't it? Straight away, we take the lead. Hevel into Arnelas. Degenhardt with a nice pass into Opacic. First time ball into Asensio, and that is a lovely finish. Maric completely beaten there. What a start. And that pretty much cements this tie. Excellent, excellent stuff. Yeah, as I was saying, we've already confirmed the signing of a few players in a couple of key positions. Just to give us those extra options. It just strengthens us a little bit. But it does mean we're going to have to make some tough decisions for players leaving the club, as well as Opacic gets in and Maric makes a good save. I've already told you that we're looking at offloading Pablo. Constant Elias, of course, is out on loan at Celta Vigo, so that is a potential deal that could go through. They've got a £20 million optional future fee. I'm hoping that'll get triggered, to be honest, because that £20 million would go a long way into setting us up for one or two other signings. Fullbacks are something that we're having a close look at. Emerson isn't going to renew his contract with the club. I don't know if that'll change now because we've qualified for the Champions League, but earlier in the season it did come out that he wasn't particularly bothered about renewing his deal here. So he might be a player that ends up leaving. He's been such a key player for us. So right back is position that we've been short on really last season and this season, and we've just not particularly found that that replacement as such. So I think it'll be an interesting transfer window, this one. We've got some very tough decisions to make, and of course, the players that we're bringing in, which we've had this issue already this season with Europe, they're not German either, so we're going to have to look for some German talent for sure to try and bring in to just give us that extra option in Europe, I think. Opicic is going to have to come off. He's just taking a knock there. Fran Garcia, we're going to bring on pretty much up front, which will be an interesting one. I mean, to be fair, I mean, actually, I think what we'll do, we'll bring Julius Alma on in there instead. But yeah, you know, there's always every point at any club where tough decisions need to be made. Fan favourites may have to leave the club and so on and so forth. So we'll have to just wait and see how things go. Lewis Myler here with a delivery toward the near post. Shia Rodia got right underneath it, and Havel was at the far post challenging for it, but Maric did claim it quite well. And despite how early we scored that goal, it's been a relatively quiet second leg, this one, hasn't it? Martin's just picking it up here and laying it forward to Ornelas. Degenhardt turns. He's had a decent game today, actually, Degenhardt, in that midfield. He's not looked out of place, which is quite nice to see. Here's Lewis Miley into Kwanzaa, who, to be fair, he started with a knock today, Kwanzaa, and he's looked pretty good today. He's not done too bad. Degenhardt with the pass. Isra Asensio missed it. Julius Alma was in, and a poor finish, really. If I had the choice, I'd probably say Julius Alma would be a player that we could let go, but obviously, with him being one of our few German players, we need to keep him really for squad registration rules. And unfortunately, that's the other challenge we're going to have, I think, in the transfer market. We're going to have to really narrow it down to German players. We've confirmed a few signings, like I say, they're not German. So when players leave, we're going to have to try and get some German players in. A very solid performance there. Second leg is done. Not too many highlights to speak of. Austria Vienna didn't have a single shot on target. Completely different team to what we played in the away leg. They were so aggressive in that first leg. But as you can see, in terms of the way that we played, we dominated proceedings today. 14, 15 seconds. Isma Asensio with a lovely finish to secure the tie. And we are in our first European final of this year's Sunday League Champions League. Landmark moment. Lazio actually won the second leg, but Everton very much did the damage in the first leg. And we will be back for the final. At least we've made some good money from this as well. That's another thing that's going to be key when the Champions League comes into place. Everton have got a very good side. I think, to be honest, it could be a bit too much for us, but we'll have to see how things go. The final is scheduled for the 28th, so we're going to have to try and get a friendly potentially in the middle of that, because there's, 11 days between the end of the season and that game against Everton. So we'll see how things go anyway. But I think putting a friendly in there just to keep players sharp is ideal. I don't know how Everton's schedule relates in that manner. They've got a similar length of time as well. So they actually, God, they've got a horrible end to the season, haven't they? Where are they in the Premier League at the moment? And they're sat in 8th place. So they're in mid-table in the Premier League. So they've certainly settled themselves. Certainly interesting to see what's going on in the Premier League, to be fair. Manchester United still up there. To be fair, it's all the usual suspects, isn't it, looking at that? Haaland, typically up there. Who is Danny Namaso? Interesting. But yeah, job done. We're in the final. And like I say, in terms of the Bundesliga, it's done and dusted now. We'll just get through all that off camera and we'll be back next time for the Conference League final. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.